you want, like sweaters.
You gonna get that?
Levi's.
Looking good. Yeah? Oh, yeah.
Luggage.
Excuse me. We're jamming.
And Space Jam.
Polo. White diamond, sir.
So it's no surprise you'll find more last-minute gifts.
Beautiful. You go get that for her.
At JCPenney.
I got in. I got out. Nobody got hurt.
Hurry in for great savings on last-minute gifts.
Merry Christmas! Hey, who's this?
Season's eatings from Kentucky Fried Chicken.
I love this guy. How did you know we wanted a holiday meal? He's got a list.
Now get a holiday bucket of chicken, a party-sized bucket of hot wings, or a holiday meal, each for just $9.99.
So really, what do we owe you?
Kmart wants this holiday to be your best ever. So all the best gifts are all at Kmart's best prices. Festive ladies' holiday sweaters are just $19.99. All fine jewelry, including 10 and 14 karat gold, is now a spectacular 60% off. This RCA 5 CD stereo with 2 speakers is Kmart priced at just $149.99. And how about this 12-piece Tefal cookware set? It's just $66.99. Great savings on famous name brands throughout the store. This holiday, there's a better way to save. Kmart.
Kraft introduces Charlie Brown's Christmas macaroni and cheese.
Wow, my very own noodle. It's as if they captured my true essence and manifested it in noodle form.
New Charlie Brown's Christmas macaroni and cheese from Kraft.
Good grief.
Who's for Santa?
I happen to know that the Jolly One is partial to this chocolate. Besides, he is leaving me a bevy of Yuletide booty.
Oh, you were good.
No, that's what the M&Ms are for.
Oh.
Ow. So you think Santa will like these red and green M&Ms?
I don't know. I never met the guy. He does exist.
They do exist. Santa?
MasterCard has something special in store for you this holiday. Master Values. Now use MasterCard and save up to 25% at some of your favorite stores. Save on the latest music at Sam Goody and Musicland. Save on top books at B. Dalton Bookseller. Save on Mattel toys at Toys R Us. Look for Master Values only from MasterCard at these and other fine stores. And master the moment.
Hi, Mama.
What's new?
Nothing. Everybody says I'm too little.
Really?
I'm thinking of running away to McDonald Land.
McDonald Land? That's where I'm from.
Yeah, I hear it's really nice.
I hear where you're from is really nice, too.
It's okay.
Yeah, because you got that basketball hoop over your garage and your back porch. That great wind chime.
I made that at summer camp.
Plus, there's that beautiful field
where I chase butterflies.
Hey, when you're in McDonald Land, who's going to make the decorations for your dad's birthday party? Who's going to be the snowflake in the school play?
Ronald.
Who's going to feed Mr. Goldfish?
Hey, Ronald, I think I hear my mom calling me.
Oh, okay. Bye, Lindsay.
Bye.
To start the holidays sooner, you could make your own reindeer. Or you could head to McDonald's for some way cool miniature Mattel toys, like Polly Pocket or the Attack Pack. 10 in all, one with each totally toy Happy Meal you buy.
I'm Fluffy. Whoa, 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 whoa.
He's good. But I think he's missing something.
What?
A friend.
McDonald's wishes you a holiday season spent with the people who make you smile.
Come on, mate. I've got a surprise for you.
What's the surprise?
I'll show you.
Look, Bernard. It's ours.
Just for the holidays at McDonald's, you can get Bernard or Miss Bianca, the famous heroes from Walt Disney Pictures' new animated feature, The Rescuers Down Under. Now in theaters everywhere. One ornament's free when you buy a $5 book of McDonald's gift certificates or $1.49 with any food purchase.
Very handsome, but I prefer the real one.
This holiday season, McDonald's is celebrating Disney and Pixar's A Bug's Life with 6 Chicken McNuggets for only 99 cents. There's no...
Heimlich! Look what you've done!
I was hungry!
How am I gonna get us out of this one?
Who says there's nothing good on TV?
6 McNuggets for just 99 cents? Did somebody say McDonald's?
And now, ideas that give your holidays the personal touch. Try sprinkling sesame seed on buttered Pillsbury crescent rolls for a delicate, flaky, extra special dinner roll for the holidays. And for dessert, use your cookie cutters to make decorative holiday cutouts for a pie with Pillsbury All-Ready pie crusts. And stay tuned for more creative ideas from Pillsbury.
Perfect! 'Tis the holiday season, and what do we see? Everybody's decorating.
Pillsbury sugar cookies.
Just roll, cut, and bake, and the fun's up to you.
Well, and sprinkles and candies and cookies for you. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good, We made these just for you.
This season, Pizza Hut's giving you something to celebrate. The holiday stuffer, a pizza loaded with 10 great toppings. Pepperoni, mushrooms and olives, Italian sausage, ham and bacon, beef and pork toppings, onions, even green peppers. Now at Pizza Hut, try one medium for a special price of $9.99. Any second pizza's half its menu price. But you'd better hurry because when the season ends, so does the deal. Enjoy the holiday stuffer from Pizza Hut. One medium's $9.99. Any second pizza's half its menu price.
Welcome back, everyone. Yeah, when I said we'd be doing this again very soon, I guess I meant very soon. So some new news came up regarding the Athena Strand case. Now, this dude, Tanner Lynn Horner, it's related, but not directly related. But this dude, Tanner Lynn Horner, has had some charges added to him. And he's currently incarcerated right now. And we're still waiting on autopsy results regarding Athena Strand. As you know, a couple of weeks ago, Athena was playing in front of her house, and allegedly a FedEx driver, according to the affidavit of the lawsuit filed by Athena's father, who she was living with as well as her stepmother. The affidavit states that his confession dictates that he hit her with his FedEx truck. He was delivering, and I went over this press conference too, where he was delivering her Christmas presents, and he hit her with the truck and panicked, brought her into the truck, and then strangled her when she threatened to tell her dad about what happened, and then disposed of her body like she was absolutely nothing. Now, someone capable of something like this. Now, I want to believe that that's true. I don't want to believe that this happened at all, if I'm being honest. But I want to believe that being the worst case scenario, that he's telling the truth. I hope so. But this new development with Tanner would indicate to me that there's a likelihood of something otherwise. And let me go ahead and share this real quick. So here we have the jail records here from the Wise County Sheriff's Office, that Tanner Lynn Horner, white male, 6'3", 220 pounds, big guy. There's it infuriates me because these kids, they don't have they didn't stand a chance. And if we're looking at these charges, and these charges are aggravated kidnapping, capital murder of a person under 10, and now sexual assault has been added to it. But it's, as you can see, it's a different county, Tarrant County. And apparently, from what I understand, it is a different victim. And I don't know the details of that victim. I'm not going to state the victim's name. I'm not. This is all we know. This is all that I'm willing to share regarding that so far. Okay. Heels, can you email me that article, please? That would be great. I would really appreciate that. But yes, I've got words. Apparently, allegedly, the victim is somebody else. But it definitely strikes. So there are 3 new charges of SA of a child. Cherry, welcome. Long time no see. Thank you for being here. Now, so this guy's definitely got an MO here. And yeah, this is really, really infuriating, actually. And it really, really upsets me. So what I'm going to do is, as I wait for more details, more information to come in as far as that goes, there is another interview that Athena's mom conducted, and I'm going to go ahead and play that. And this way we can we can show a little love to Athena's family and give her a voice, give Athena's mom a voice here. Or at least this is a news clipping of it. I'm trying to find the entire interview. I'm having a little trouble with that. But in the meantime, give me 1 second here.
Along this lonely road in Wise County is where investigators found Athena Strand's body. The 7-year-old's murder has gripped Texans because what happened to this little girl could have very well happened to anyone's child.
Is there any way you can tell us what it's like to stand in Maitland Gandy's shoes today?
But the pain Maitland Gandy feels is hers and hers alone.
I'm sad. I'm angry. I'm confused. The love and the prayers are felt. And sorry. I keep thinking of her face.
Gandy is Athena's mother.
Raising her was the best 7 years of my life. And I just expected a lot more years.
A lot has happened since we first met Maitland, the night an Amber Alert was issued for her daughter. Authorities fearing the little girl wandered off. Gandy's instinct, that didn't add up. A day later, investigators found the little girl's body in a rural part of Boyd.
Do you feel comfortable walking us through that moment?
I knew from the moment that Sheriff Aiken walked in that he was going to tell me everything that I had felt had happened.
It hurts our hearts to know that that child died.
I remember feeling broken and empty. And I couldn't breathe.
Police led to Athena's body by FedEx contract driver Tanner Horner. According to a confession, he delivered a package to Athena's home in Paradise, where she was living with her dad, but backed into the 7-year-old with his delivery van by accident. He says he placed Athena in the van and strangled her to death. Horner told police he panicked, afraid of what consequences would come from the accident. He even said Athena was alive, breathing, talking to him before he took her life.
If that alleged confession is true, that he could have done the right thing and your daughter would be alive, how do you react to that?
We would have forgave him because accidents do happen. But he chose to do more. And what he did is unforgivable. Athena could have just walked away. And I wish he would have let her.
If you could say anything to the suspect, is there anything you'd like to ask or say to him?
If I could sit down in front of him, what I would like to tell him is that he is nothing, but Athena is absolutely everything. And I will make sure that everybody in this world knows that he is nothing and she is everything.
Death penalty.
I support the death penalty. Every breath that he takes is one that my daughter doesn't.
Athena's funeral last Friday. For this mother, the hardest part being the last to close her little girl's casket.
I was the one
that is so sad.
Last, and I closed her casket before her daddy and her uncles and her grandfathers carried her out. And I held her hand and I kissed her. And I told her how sorry I was and how much I love her. And that was the last time I saw her.
Yet, so many still see Athena, her life, her legacy, celebrated by so many since her death.
I just wish that they would have actually got to. I'm sorry. I wish everybody that helped me find Athena would have actually gotten to meet Athena, because everybody would have loved her so much more than they think that they already do.
What is the one thing you want us to remember?
I want people to know not to take the time with their children for granted, because I would do anything to go back to May 23rd of 2015 and relive every moment from that time forward. That's what I want people to know. I want people to know her. She's not just a name and she's not just a face. She was a real little girl, and she was taken from me.
Athena's father has since sued FedEx Ground and the contractor that hired Horner to drive for them. Gandhi has a legal team herself, and they are investigating this case. If you'd like to watch the full interview, head to WFAA.com. Back to you.
From WFAA Weather.
Wow. Yeah, that is horribly sad. And, folks are, I know that some folks are skeptical regarding, the motives behind suing FedEx and this country or this company that was contracting, that FedEx was contracting. I say whatever justice that they feel entitled to, they deserve. They deserve it. I mean, how do you put a price tag on losing a child that sweet and that precious? But at the same time, it's like, well, something. I don't think that it's about gaining money from FedEx or anyone else. I think it's about causing an impact that will raise awareness and force FedEx to make more changes that keep their customers safer. It puts them in a position to where they have to be held accountable. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. So now, let me see if I can find okay, so here's the article that Heels in the Air sent me. Again, thank you for that, Heels. Appreciate it. Okay, so it says here, sexual assault charges filed against Texas delivery man accused of killing 7-year-old girl. Tanner Horner has been charged with the alleged sexual assault of a minor in addition to kidnapping and murder. Now I want to be, give me 1 second here, because I don't want to share this if it shows names of the victims just yet. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't seem to. So I'll just go ahead and read it just in case. Prosecutors charged the FedEx driver arrested earlier this month and accused of killing a 7-year-old girl with the alleged sexual assault of a minor. Jail records in Texas revealed. Tanner Lynn Horner, 31, had been booked into custody and charged with alleged capital murder and aggravated kidnapping. But Wise County jail records now show that he's facing 3 counts of sexual assault on a child. The new charges appear to challenge Horner's alleged explanation to investigators for his killing of Athena Strand. Horner had told investigators the little girl was not seriously injured when he accidentally backed his truck into her, according to an arrest warrant affidavit. The suspect told investigators that he panicked and feared she was going to tell her father about being hit by the FedEx truck the defendant was operating, leading him to strangle her, the affidavit said. Horner's attorney and representatives of Wise County District Attorney James Stainton and Sheriff Lane Aiken could not be immediately reached for comment on Wednesday. So that's all that says. So far, all we know is 3 counts. Now, I don't know if that means 3 different victims or somebody that he knew, because right now we know that Jared Lysick from Adventures with Purpose has been charged with 2 counts of child rape, but they were the same victim, his cousin, and allegedly same victim in 2 counts because there were 2 separate occasions. So again, I don't know the details of this. I have no idea, but we're just going to wait and find out. But then again, it could be Athena. I don't know if it's about another child. I don't know the details of that, but it could be Athena. It's just another county. So is it possible that they got another confession out of him? Maybe he traveled to another county and assaulted her there and then disposed of her body when he came back to the area that he lived in. I find that a little hard to believe. I find that to be a bit far-fetched, but it's possible. I don't know. And so Margot's saying 8 years ago he had an allegation of SA. I don't know about that either. Oh, it was pink. I'm sorry. I thought it was purple. I'm so sorry, Kami71. So yes, pink hearts for Athena, please, guys. Pink hearts. And yeah, if we're getting if we're gonna get technical here, if we're gonna just call a spade, right? We're looking at somebody who now has these charges. The likelihood of his story being remotely believable is ridiculous. The likelihood of his story even being there's no way to me. Again, we don't have any evidence, but if you're asking me, this is one of those rare occasions where I don't mind thinking the worst of a person like this, because normally when I'm saying, hey, let's be careful, innocent till proven guilty, blah, blah, blah. Well, here we're talking about somebody who confessed to something here. He confessed to strangling her. Okay. It wasn't like he confessed to accidentally hitting her with his truck and then driving off and leaving it alone. That's not, even still, I would say this guy's a piece of shit, because he should have taken responsibility, notified the authorities, notified her family, something. But I the reason why I'm usually like, okay, I don't want to make accusations towards somebody, is because I don't want to tarnish their name when they could be innocent. This is not an innocent person. This is not an innocent person in the slightest bit. This is a guy who robbed a family of a beautiful soul, an innocent, pure child. And so, do I give a shit that people are speculating whether or not this guy assaulted this girl in a way that he did not admit to. No, I don't. I really don't feel anything about that. Because I don't believe this guy's story, personally. And I feel okay with not believing his story. If you maliciously strangle a child because you're afraid she's going to tell on you, you're a piece of shit. And I hope that capital murder, I hope that the punishment for capital murder is of the maximum that he could possibly get just for the crime that he confessed to. So no, I don't feel guilty or feel like I need to walk on eggshells regarding this dude's character and how it's going to be viewed by the public and what I do with it on my channel. This is not one of those cases. This is one of those cases where I absolutely believe that this person is a liar, a complete and total shitbag, total creep. And if he's being charged with assault, whether it be Athena or whether it be another victim, if he's being charged with sexual assault, that would tell me that they believe to have enough evidence to convict him, to prosecute and convict him. So, if it quacks like a duck, it walks like a duck, it's probably a duck. So yeah, I don't have any sympathy for this person in the slightest bit. I didn't change my description at all, Misfit Kitty. I love how somebody who comes on here to defend people who are habitually spreading misinformation comes up here and tries to spread misinformation. Misfit Kitty, you were a jackass. And right. Nothing can be confirmed until Ali says. None of this that I'm saying right now has been confirmed yet. All we know for a fact is that he has been charged with 3 counts of sexual assault towards a child. That's all we know. So right now, again, we're just going to have to wait on the details to come out. We're going to have to be patient. Again, I have no reason to believe that the law enforcement agents that have been charged with the responsibility of getting answers here are going to slack in that aspect in any way, shape, or form. They were extremely efficient and extremely swift in getting an arrest. They got a confession. So hopefully this absolute bottom feeding piece of shit, Tanner, gets hopefully he pleads guilty. I don't know what's going to happen. Normally when there's a case like this, what we've seen in the past is they'll give the defendant the option to plead guilty to avoid the death penalty. Now, if that happens, so be it. You guys know how I feel about that. Those of you who've been following for a long time, you guys know how I feel about that. And my feelings are, however justice is served, justice is served. If justice means that he ends up, if he ends up in prison for the rest of his life, and suffers in prison for the rest of his life, then so be it. That's fine with me. Whatever is just to the families, and the families feel that justice is served, that's good enough for me. That's their little girl. That's their child. So they're the ones that get to dictate whether or not justice was served or not. It's not up to us. We don't have any say. This child, to us, is just a member of our society who was taken just way too early, and we don't want the person who perpetrated this to walk free. They don't get to be a part of our society. They don't get to be citizens of our society anymore, and that's already pretty much being ensured. So they have a confession, and even though the confession is probably bullshit in the sense that there was probably more done, he still admits to the fact that he strangled her. And so, yeah, if now what I don't know is, I wonder if they'll even, because I'm thinking in theory, if he's, even if, what if there's no option? What if they say, hey, bottom line is, even if you plead guilty, you're going to get the death penalty? What would be the incentive for him to plead guilty? If you know what I mean? So I think I feel like they would offer that incentive in some way, shape, or form in order to save the family further trauma of having to relive this situation as a panda. What are you yelling about? Hi, baby. Look at you. You're so excited. So I don't want to see the family have to relive this trauma through a trial. But if they feel that it's worth it to get him the death penalty, you know what I mean? Like, that's, like I said, justice being served, and what dictates justice being served is how the family feels justice is served. Whatever is justice to them, they're the ones that deserve the justice. To some degree, as citizens, we deserve justice, sure, but the people that matter, really matter, are the members of her family. So, yeah. I'm curious as to how that's going to play out. I'm quite curious about how that's going to play out, because, like I said, do you need to go outside? If she, if this person doesn't have the option, but I don't see how that would work. Like I said, I don't see the incentive of him pleading guilty unless they take the death penalty off the table, unless there's some sort of condition to the death penalty that they can manipulate in some way, shape, or form in order to entice him and give him incentive to plead guilty, so that the family doesn't have to go through reliving this in a trial and having to be subjected to the evidence and the fear that he might actually be found acquitted in some way. Hopefully that's not the case. I'm sorry, baby. Sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. I got a dog who really needs to go outside. I apologize for that, folks. When Panda's got to go, she's got to go. Um, yeah, so let me do this real quick, folks. All right. Okay. So there's a poll up in chat. And you don't have to answer if you don't want to. Some people don't even want to think about it, and I don't blame you. But I'm just curious as to you guys and how you feel about this situation. Crime with K saying, so people certainly kill without SA like this case. They do, absolutely. But I'm of the opinion that he did. That's just me. And your opinion, that's why I put up the poll. Your opinions are respected if you feel otherwise. But as I explained before, my opinion on this is that he did simply because, the pieces fit. There's no denying that. The pieces absolutely fit here. And those pieces being that somebody doesn't just strangle a kid because they hit him with their truck. That almost never ever happens. And she had no according to her mom and according to his confession, she had no visible markings that would indicate that she had an injury from being hit with a truck. And I'm sorry, but if you get hit with a truck, I mean, you're going to get some sort of maybe a knee scrape, something, but for there to be absolutely no visible injuries that would indicate that she got hit with a truck, I find that really hard to believe. On top of the fact that he now has 3 new charges of sexual assault against a child. So, I'm sorry, but the pieces fit. The pieces are enough for me to put that together and feel that it's safe. Right, Brother Preach, exactly. It's good to see you again, buddy. The pieces fit to where I feel perfectly I feel perfectly sound in my logic to come to that conclusion that he assaulted this child in the most horrific way. I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm hoping that I'm wrong. I mean, let's see here. So I've got 144 votes here, and 93% of you believe that Tanner did this. I'm in agreement with you. I'm absolutely in agreement with you. And for those of you in your 7%, those of you in the 7%, hey, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. It's okay. You want to wait till all the facts are in. And there's normally this is what this channel would actually promote, is waiting till all the facts are in before coming to this conclusion. But I also want to be clear that the reason why this channel is so adamant about that is because we don't want to falsely accuse someone who does not deserve to be falsely accused. Who does well, I mean, nobody deserves to be falsely accused of anything, but we don't want to falsely accuse someone who we could be victimizing in the process. I don't believe by accusing this person of any crime other than what he's already admitted to is victimizing him in any way, shape, or form. So that's why I feel perfectly comfortable with speculating on whether or not he actually did this. That's why I feel that way about it. I do not want to cause an innocent person any harm. This is not an innocent person, in my opinion. He confessed. So now again, to be fair, we don't know the circumstances of his confession, but you know, this was all done pretty quickly. You know what I mean? I don't think that they sat there and beat this guy with a telephone book for 12 hours to get him to say whatever they wanted him to say. It has been done in the past. I'm not saying that it's not possible, but I find it highly unlikely, especially with such a high profile case. This case had a lot of attention. So there was a lot of pressure from law enforcement, and that pressure from law enforcement is to ensure to collect enough evidence to gain a conviction, but also to not violate someone's rights in order to ensure that conviction. That is law enforcement's job, especially when the whole world is watching them. So I find it highly unlikely that they would do anything that is outside of by the book in order to get the confession that they got from this person. That's how I feel about it. That's just my opinion. So no, I don't think that in any way, shape, or form we are victimizing this person by speculating whether or not he actually assaulted her in the manner that he's being charged with, whether it be her or another victim. Let's do that real quick here. Now this is tough. So this is going to be the full press conference from 2 weeks ago, because I see somebody in chat is saying that law enforcement stated that they had footage from inside the vehicle. I just want to address that because I'm not sure about that. I'm not saying it's not true. I just want to watch this video to get to the bottom of that. I want to know. I want to refresh my mind as to what law enforcement stated publicly that they have as far as evidence goes.
We're glad to see y'all here tonight. It's been a really, really tough few days, and I'm very proud of the people who are here who helped us so much to get some resolution, to get some understanding, to provide answers for the families. And these people, we couldn't have done it without that. Could not have done it without them. The Texas Rangers. This is the acting SAC, Jim Dwyer with FBI. And then I've got my chief deputy and captain, enforcement captain here. It was a monumental task. And because of the cooperation, because of us working together, we were able to get the answers. Some of the answers were not the answers that we would have hoped that we would have gotten. And we want to send our condolences out to the family of Athena Strand. Her body was recovered about 2 hours ago, maybe 3, 6 miles that direction. It hurts our hearts to know that that child died. So much so that she is on her way now to the medical examiner's office.
Now, I want to state real quick. Let's say that they have cameras inside the FedEx truck, and let's say that those cameras show him doing something to her of this horrible nature. Let's say that that's the case. It's quite possible and even likely that they're going to wait until there is evidence from her autopsy. They're probably going to wait till the autopsy concludes that she was a victim of assault, that there's some sort of trauma to her to indicate that during this autopsy. So, like I said, they want to make sure that they get enough evidence when they charge somebody with something. They want to make sure that there's sufficient evidence to get a conviction on that charge. So each charge, they want that guilty verdict. So maybe the video evidence of him doing something, it could be enough, but before they charge with sexual assault, they're probably waiting for the autopsy results. So like I said, just because they have the video does not necessarily mean that that's enough, that they felt that that was enough evidence right at that moment to charge him with sexual assault.
And there's a Texas Ranger in front of her, and there's a Texas Ranger behind her. This community does not like losing our children. And we could see it because of all the people who came out and helped us throughout this ordeal. It was most meaningful what the citizens did because we have a close-knit group of folks here in Wise County. And it's our pleasure to serve these folks in Wise County, the Rangers, the FBI, and the Sheriff's Office. We're glad that we've had this opportunity, but we're just sad that it didn't end the way that we would hope that it would end. Earlier today, a tip was received. We knew early on in the investigation that there had been a FedEx driver made a delivery in front of the house about the same time that little Athena, 7-year-old Athena, came up missing. And continued good work by this investigative team, they were able to determine that the driver abducted Athena. And from the investigative standpoint, digitally as well as good old interviews, we think Athena died within just a very hour or so, the very hour or so after her departure from her home. This driver is a contract driver, and his name is Tanner Lynn Horner. He's 31, and he's from Lake Worth. He's in the Wise County Jail right now because of the good work of these people and all the folks out there who have helped our EMC, our prosecutors here tonight, the deputies, the highway patrol, the citizens. He's in our jail, and he's in our jail being charged with capital murder, aggravated kidnapping, and his bond is $1.5 million at this time. We thank again the community, and I guess at this point we'll take questions.
Was her body found on SF-4599 where you were at earlier?
You want to answer that? No, it was on another county road, about 6 miles. We don't really want to release that address right now, but it was 6 miles further from here, so it's probably 3 miles past that. It's southeast of Boyd.
Was the driver actually delivering a package to their home?
Yes, sir, he was.
So she was.
Hey, do you ever walk into a room and completely forget why you're there?
Yeah.
The driveway is about 200 yards or so, so probably pretty close to her gate.
What leads you to believe that she passed away within an hour of leaving home?
There's digital evidence as well as interviews that causes us to believe that.
How was the driver located?
You want to answer that question? Would you like to answer that question?
There were a number of investigative steps that have taken course along the way. The sheriff mentioned the digital evidence that was there, and we were able to work through that digital evidence and through partnerships with FedEx in order to help assist with locating him and finding him this afternoon.
Does this man have any prior criminal history?
I don't know the answer to that question at this point.
When you talk about that digital evidence, do you mean ring camera videos, surveillance camera videos?
I think the investigation is still unfolding at this point, and I think we'll leave the specifics in terms of what that is there.
Now, to my understanding, the arrest affidavit only contains the details of his confession. So far as I understand, I don't know if there's further evidence that has yet to be established as fact yet. Again, we don't know. That's why the poll is up. It's just a question of what you guys think right now. But again, yes, Dr. Edward Moskowitz, we're going to have to wait for the autopsy. You're just going to have to wait to find out for a fact. But in the meantime, the fact of the matter is that 3 counts of sexual assault to a child have been added to Tanner Horner. So
there, but right now we're on behalf of the FBI, I'd also like to offer my condolences to the Strand family and to the Wise County community as well. The partnerships with the Texas Rangers and with the gentleman behind us, the sheriff from Wise County, were truly remarkable and truly helped to bring some closure to that family today. And we know that they're hurting, but we do offer our deepest condolences to them.
Amy, you're correct, somewhat. Okay, because I thought the same thing, but I was just live prior to this, and I was reading Kylie Rodney's autopsy results, her autopsy report, and she's a minor. So I guess it depends on the state. I thought the same thing you did when I was going over the Kylie Rodney case when it was relevant at the time. Since it is closed, since the case is closed, like I said, and unless the parents release it, correct, Cherry. So if the parents release it, yes, but in some states like California, the autopsy results actually are public unless the parents ask that it's not released. So it just depends on the state.
Them.
Is just one person that you believe is responsible?
That is currently the understanding. Yes.
And what led you to that location where her body was recovered?
Sheriff, you.
I can address that. It was because of the work of the Rangers and our investigators who were doing the interview that got us to that location based on the information they received from the suspect, now defendant.
The suspect confessed?
We do have a confession.
Is there anything that you can give us on why the suspect said he did this or what motivated him?
We really can't get into the content of the confession, but I will say that we have a confession, and there's so many other things because this has really just come to this position, this time, and just closure just hours ago. So it's still very, very early, but we wanted to make sure that we got the information out. What has
now
happened.
Keep in mind, this was 2 weeks ago. I went over this press conference live when it happened, and so this was very, very fresh, and it was it was very, very disturbing to hear that, because we were all here and we were all hoping for good news, and we didn't get it. We got horrible news, and so but again, we do not have all we have right now that's been made public have been the details of his confession, and that's it so far.
It's happened today because of the good work right here.
Do you know if this man knew Athena or her family?
No, that's a good question, and I appreciate that. No, he was not related and did not know the family.
We saw a large police presence on County Road 4599. Can you disclose?
That was just misinformation.
That's a good point. Heels in the air. I in part agree with you. You're saying, so that's why I'm thinking it's too soon for charges. They have to investigate. I don't think it's too soon for charges, because they charge, as we talk about here a lot. They charge based on what they feel they can convict on, and a confession is usually quite enough. A confession and a body is usually quite enough to where they can convict on. So yeah, I don't think it's too early for charges, but like we're seeing today, we're seeing that charges can be added as the investigation continues. So that's what's going on here. Is the charges, the charges of sexual assault were not added before. Oh, okay. Heels in the air. Sorry, I thought you were talking about Athena. You highlight that to make it clear. Yes, Eva Bennett, I'll go ahead and fill you in. So, and for those of you just joining, so new charges have been brought up to Tanner Connor, who confessed to the murder of Athena Strand, 7 years old. She, there are 3 counts of sexual assault to a child. What we don't know is if they are, because they're charged in a different county. So we don't know if they are in some way, shape, or form connected to Athena, or if they are another victim. We just don't know. What we do know is that according to those charges, that pretty much tells us that this dude is capable of much worse than, well, not necessarily worse, depending on what you think is worse. But both are unthinkable things to do to a child, or anyone for that matter. And the question is whether or not these charges apply to Athena or not. I've got words. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hey, I have found where they said they have video. We'll email you real quick. Okay, yeah, do that. I appreciate that. Yeah, if you guys have information, man, that I'm missing, that's what we do here. This is why this is a community. If you guys have information that I'm missing, please share it. But just understand that we only deal in facts here. Don't send me stuff that some other YouTuber said. Not that I'm saying that's what you're doing. I'm just making that abundantly clear. You know, like if you have information that's out there that I missed, we go over it together. I'm really grateful for my community. So that's one of the many reasons why I'm grateful to you guys. I don't know about that. I thought that too. And I think we've gotten all the details out of that we're going to get, but let me, I really wish Mystery Maven was up in here right now. I could really use an attorney, a criminal attorney right now to confirm or disconfirm what's said in that comment. So let me go ahead and share this again. See, that's the thing is I mean, I think this is just his general record in the state of Texas. So I mean, I don't know. I guess he was booked for this charge in Wise County Sheriff's Office. But again, I really don't know how this works, because it's the first two charges are 271st Judicial District Court, but the sexual assault charge, those charges are Tarrant County. So I don't know. Okay. Well, bee's knees, thank you for your service in law enforcement. I appreciate that. Your insight would be greatly appreciated here. Give me a second here. People are still sending me stuff, so let me take a look. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm already showing. Okay, so let me share this real quick. All right, so here are all those charges. I don't know what this one is on the bottom. I guess it's a possession charge in April 4th. But here we have 3 different sexual assaults of a child. And the dates here are 18 days later after his capital murder of a person under 10 and aggravated kidnapping facilitate charges. So, and here is okay. Yeah, this is the jail census report that I'm looking at. But I mean, it's just going to be a screenshot, but oh, there's somebody named Go Lightly here. It has a list of people. I'm looking at this here. I'll show you. Yes. It has a list of people. And one of these dudes is Kenneth Go Lightly right there at the top. No relation, because we know that that's not her real name, but somebody's name is Go Lightly. What is he charged with? Let's see. Also sexual assault of a child. Wow. A lot of sexual assaults of children here. It's not good. Yeah, so I guess we're just going to have to wait, folks. Like I said, we're just going to have to wait for an official statement from law enforcement. I have no doubt in my mind that we'll be getting a press release, at least, if not a press conference, from the Texas Rangers and the other one of the other law enforcement agencies that have brought us and brought Athena's family at least this much level of closure so far. We're just gonna have to wait for that. And yeah, we had I had a conversation on here with one of Tanner's growing up buddies, and he definitely said that there was definitely a relationship with an underage girl that he had going on, that he was that he seemed quite proud of for whatever reason, as though he had bragging rights about it or something to that effect. So I don't know. Right. That's what I'm referring to. Compost tacos. That's also a good point. That could be the case. Maybe they do apply to Athena and he's just being held in a different county. Maybe they transported him to another county, and that's where he's and that's where they booked him for that charge, for those 3 charges. Okay, the possession charge is in his. Thank you, Diggs. Guys, there's no reason to argue in the chat about this. We don't have all the facts right now. Like, that's the conclusion that we should come to when we find ourselves having semantic arguments in the chat, because I promise you that these arguments are absolutely semantic that you're having in the chat right now. We don't have all the facts in just yet. Right now, we're just simply speculating. We're just simply asking questions. We don't have all the facts, are not all in yet, people. So just take it easy with each other. There's no reason to argue amongst each other in the chat right now. That's a good question. Yeah, Kelly, you're saying, do these employers ever check job seekers' social media? Some do. A lot of employers do. It's one of the first things they do is get on somebody's social media and just probe, but this could be exactly why there is an active lawsuit right now from Athena's dad. Athena's dad is suing FedEx and the contract company that FedEx contracted. So, if they have grounds for a lawsuit, that could definitely be. Oh my God, dude! Seriously, like, just stop. Like, I don't care if you're a mod or you're not a mod. Stop arguing, people. Stop arguing with each other in the chat. It's really ridiculous. Like, there's literally no point to arguing about this because we don't have all the facts yet. Okay. Okay, let me check my email real quick. Okay. Okay. Now, this is from, thank you. I've got words for this. I appreciate it. But yeah, I mean, that's the argument. Yaya Kelly, right now, Athena's family definitely feels that FedEx and the company that they were that employed Tanner, that they contracted, is accountable in some way, shape, or form. So we'll see. We'll see what happens out of that. That's a matter of opinion. Who knows? Who knows? We'll see. We'll see what happens. Real quick, let me look into this. All right. Now, I take Daily Mail articles with a grain of salt, just so you know, but I'm going to share it anyway. And we'll go over that. It says here, FedEx driver who murdered Athena Strand 7 told cops he accidentally hit her with his van. Blah, 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 blah. We already know that. And there's a very grainy screenshot here in their little thumbnail of what looks to be like the arrest affidavit. But it says here, the FedEx driver accused of abducting and killing a 7-year-old girl last week in Texas told authorities that he strangled the victim after accidentally hitting her with his van, blah, 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 blah. We already know that. We already know that. And I'm not going to get into that detail because we already went over that before and it's really gross. All right. Says the affidavit also revealed that Horner's FedEx truck was equipped with a video camera. Feeds from the video showed Horner bringing girl resembling Athena into the truck. Horner could not be seen speaking with girl inside the truck in the video. Okay, so that's important. It is unclear if he could be seen attacking her in the footage. That's very important. So thank you for sending me this, because that, like I said, I'm taking this with a grain of salt. But if they claim to have access to the affidavit and they're claiming what the affidavit says, then I'm inclined to believe what this article is saying. But the affidavit describes in horrifying detail how Horner murdered the 7-year-old in cold blood. So what it's saying here is that it shows Horner bringing a girl resembling Athena into the truck. So that indicates to me that there's probably not footage of the back of the truck. The camera is just showing, it's probably pointing at the driver and probably captures the doorway to the truck, the front entrance to the truck. If I had to guess, I'm just speculating here. I'd have to ask my friend, which I will ask him. But I'd have to ask him if what the camera in his truck is like, because he's also a contracted FedEx driver. But I will end up asking him. I was going to actually, I tossed around the idea of bringing him on and asking him just basic questions that he could probably shed some light on as far as that stuff goes, as far as those kind of things go. But I also don't want to put him in a position where he can get in trouble with his job. So I chose for his protection to not engage in that and put him in that awkward position, that possibly compromising position. Because it's a good job. Now, that's a good question. I'll ask him that too. I've got words, but I don't think so. But if the affidavit says here that it shows him bringing Athena into the truck, but the affidavit left out if he could be seen attacking her. So it describes in horrifying detail, but it's not clear as to how he could be seen attacking her. Like I said, I'm guessing that the footage, or at least the affidavit, as far as the details of the actual killing go, are coming from his confession, which between that and the body, I would assume they would think is enough to get a conviction on. So that's probably why. I'm thinking that the footage from the camera only shows the entrance to the truck. The front entrance, by the way. So I would assume so. There's probably not a camera showing the back of the truck where all the cargo would be, which is where he would likely have committed this horrible crime. So no, you're good. I've got words. No, that's why we explore it. You know, I'm actually really glad that you did send me that. Thank you for that, because we were able to shed a little bit more light on that particular detail. That narrows down our speculation greatly. So it was great that you sent me that. So I really appreciate it. Yeah, compost tacos. I'm inclined to agree with you on that. I'm thinking that he probably panicked. She probably threatened to tell on him. You know, a lot of the times when someone kidnaps a child and assaults them, it's rare that child ever comes out of that situation alive, because they're basically a walking testimony against them. So I would assume that if he assaulted her, that would be the motive for killing her. I'm not believing this being hit with a truck bullshit for a second, because you're not going to tell me that a 7-year-old girl, as small as she is, getting hit by a FedEx truck is not going to have any visible injuries at all. And I'm talking about, I mean, it doesn't mean that they would necessarily have a broken bone, but I mean, not even a knee scrape, not even an elbow scrape, some sort of road rash to some degree. I'm just not buying that. So I'm inclined to think that there was another motive behind his killing her. And seeing as he has these assault charges, I'm inclined to believe that would be the motive for killing her, is to cover up that crime. Right. Heels in the air. I'm inclined to agree with you there too. When you're saying, why say I'm telling my dad you ran over me? Why would that be enough reason to kill a child? That's crazy. Definitely, it makes more sense that she may have been talking about something else. So. Well, yeah, Kelly, that's true. But like I said, I like to play devil's advocate a lot on this channel too, because I like to be fair when I think about these things, and when I speculate, I like to try to speculate as responsibly as I possibly can. And In doing so, I mean, we have to be fair and look at all the possibilities. You're saying you were hit by a car when you were 7. He was only going 25 and you almost died. Okay. That I sure a 25 mile per hour, 2-ton object, moving at 25 miles per hour. That's, that's going to definitely cause some serious injury, but we don't know the speed that Tanner was going. It could have been that he was just backing up slowly and hit her just hard enough to knock her down. But, for him to be as concerned as he was, like, oh my God, are you okay? And knocked her down, and there's no visible injuries at all, like nothing, not even a scrape. I'm not buying that. Hard enough to knock a child down to where you're concerned about her, and you go, oh my God, are you okay? Get in the truck. Why get her in the truck? I mean, she's right in front of her house. It doesn't make any sense. That makes no sense. His story doesn't make sense. It just simply doesn't make sense. There's if he was right in front of her house and she was playing in front of her house and he accidentally hit her, what would make the most sense is that he just drove the fuck off. You know what I mean? Why put her in the truck? For what? I could understand maybe putting her in the truck if she was a block away from her house and you're just like, okay, I'm going to take you home. And then she says, well, I'm going to tell my dad that you hit me with your truck. And then he panics and then strangles her. That would make his story make a little bit more sense. But I mean, she was already right there. What was the purpose of putting her in the truck? It makes no sense. Makes no sense. So I'm inclined to believe that this dude had another motive, not only for killing her, but for putting her in his truck in the first place. Yeah, Charlie's dad, you're making a really valid point here. But according to the lawsuit affidavit, which I could pull up here, actually, give me 1 second. According to the lawsuit affidavit, which I'll try to find here. So the lawsuit affidavit says something very interesting to me. And there's something about, because in that comment you're talking about how many FedEx drivers like hit a kid and then kill them to cover it up. Well, they don't kill them to cover it up, but according to this, I just have to find that part of it. Okay, so right here, it states that FedEx ground delivery drivers have recently committed numerous assaults, rapes, and murders of persons across the country. In each of these cases, FedEx stated that they were appalled. In 2021, a New York delivery driver lured teenagers into his FedEx delivery vehicle and sexually assaulted the teenagers. In 2022, a FedEx driver located in Utica, New York, murdered a woman on his route and burned her house to the ground. In March of 2022, a FedEx driver in Connecticut broke into a woman's home on his route and held her at gunpoint. On December 2022, December 22nd, 2021, a FedEx ground driver in North Carolina was charged with breaking into 11 homes along his FedEx delivery route. Stolen jewelry and guns were located in the driver's FedEx ground vehicle. So, that's very telling that this is actually quite a problem. This is part of the lawsuit that Athena's dad is filing against FedEx. So, and so there's part of their case is stating that it's not just this case. It's not just this is an ongoing problem with FedEx. And so, they feel that they could have done more to prevent this situation, and they feel that FedEx could have taken more measures to protect their customers. Right. I've got words saying, seriously, there's something I never thought I'd have to worry about. Right. That was very alarming. The first time I read that, I was like, oh my God. Oh, look, Captain Cunt's in here to troll. Stick around, man. Maybe you'll learn on how to not spread misinformation and look at facts if you're going to speculate on something. You're welcome here. So you might learn something. So welcome, buddy. I mean, yeah, of course, side eye, but that doesn't mean that you have to like compromise your way of life. You know what I mean? Like that's not, obviously you want to use your common sense to protect you and yours for sure, of course. But I mean, there was a time. Look at Albert Fish. You know what I mean? Like Albert Fish, this was at the turn of the century, where he had his victims and he brutalized and murdered small children who he was just a nice old man. And the parents were like, sure, you could take the kids to go get ice cream. Why not? What's the problem with a nice old man taking kids for ice cream? This is a time where people left their doors unlocked, didn't even have locks on their doors. They were just, but all of a sudden, because a shithead like Albert Fish comes along, now we've got to act like we need to keep our doors locked at all times and we can't trust anybody. No, you just use your common sense. Don't just let your kids run off with somebody because they seem harmless. You do some background checking on them. You do some homework on them. You use some careful judgment. You don't just go, nice old guy. That's something, of course, that you're going to learn from, but it's not something that makes you that should make you go, okay, nobody's trustworthy. That's insane. You know what I mean? I know my buddy that works for FedEx, perfectly trustworthy guy. I've known the guy my whole life. You know what I mean? Sinner 1977, thank you so much. I appreciate that. The jury is in. You are a good person. Merry Christmas. That means a lot. Thank you so much. Well, John Mack, that's what the lawsuit's all about. We'll see. We'll see. And Diggs, if you can send me that affidavit, I would really appreciate it before you go. I know you said you sent it to Cherry, but I don't know if Cherry's still in here or not. I just want to ensure that I get it. So if you could send it to me, that I'd really appreciate it. Just me. Okay, cool. Thank you, Diggs. I appreciate that. Okay. Is this? Okay. All right. So I have the warrant of arrest for Tanner Horner here. Appreciate that, Diggs. So I'm going to go ahead and read this. This way we can get a better understanding. So on Wednesday, November 30th, 2022, at approximately 1841 hours, Elizabeth Ashley Strand called 911. The call was answered by the Wise County Sheriff's Office communications. Elizabeth reported that her 7 years of age stepdaughter, Athena Presley Monroe Strand, had reportedly vanished from her residence. And deputies were dispatched to the residence at 1856 hours, followed shortly after by numerous deputies, fire department, and EMS personnel. First responders began diligently searching for Athena in the near freezing temperature. Deputies spoke with the original reporting party, Athena's stepmom, Elizabeth Ashley Strand. Elizabeth explained to deputies she had last seen Athena inside the converted storage shed Athena and her stepsister were temporarily using as a bedroom living quarters. Sorry, guys. I might miss stuff in chat to it, so I do apologize because I'm reading directly from this screen here, so I can't see chat directly unless I glance over at my phone once in a while. So Elizabeth stated that she had last seen renovated. Okay. Deputies spoke with the original reporting party, Athena's stepmom, Elizabeth Ashley Strand. Elizabeth explained to deputies she had last seen Athena inside the converted storage shed Athena and her stepsister were temporarily using as a bedroom living quarters, while Athena's father, Jacob Henry Strand, renovated the main residence, smaller residence next to the storage shed. It should be noted that the main residence is the smaller of the residences, and the large residence is abandoned. Okay. Yeah, we talked about that when we went over the lawsuit, which is very interesting. So her bedroom is in a completely different, separated part of the home. Athena's bedroom is made up in the shed. So that's a different part of the home. So it should be noted that the main residence is the smaller of the residences and the large residence is abandoned. Elizabeth stated she had last seen Athena around 1745 hours on the same day. November 30th, 2022, when Elizabeth had left Athena inside the shed bedroom and residence and started making dinner around 30 minutes later. Elizabeth went back outside to Athena's room to tell her dinner was ready, but Athena was gone. Okay, so it's very important to note that detail, folks. So a lot of people were throwing a lot of blame at Elizabeth here. They were trying to say that, well, you know, she turned her back on her, and how could she let her go outside, blah, blah, blah. In order for her to go to her room, she had to go outside. Athena had to go outside. So so if Athena was sent to her room because they had an argument, then Athena had to go outside. So we don't know the circumstances. Maybe she was going from the main part of the house or where the kitchen was to go to her bedroom, and in a route to her bedroom is when Tanner shows up with the FedEx truck dropping off the package, and then sees his chance and takes her. So I mean, it could happen just that quickly. That's as quickly as it takes. So, I mean, you know, you hear stories about kids going missing all the time. Like, I just turned my back for 1 second and my baby was gone, you know? So, I mean, to throw these crazy accusations at Athena's stepmom is insane. To bad talk her and say that she wasn't doing her job as a guardian to protect her. It doesn't apply here. I can totally understand if she sent her to a room and they live in an area that seems perfectly safe, and where Athena's mother, who lives somewhere else, has stated publicly in a press conference that property is where Athena's father grew up and played out front all his childhood, his entire childhood. And felt perfectly safe, and it was perfectly safe. So it's very important that we don't throw shade at this poor woman. Athena explained to deputies she had last seen Athena inside the converted storage shed Athena and her stepsister were temporarily using as a bedroom living quarters, while Athena's father, Jacob Henry Strand, renovated the main residence. Smaller residence next to the storage shed. It should be noted. Okay, so it's not even the storage shed, it's the residence next to the storage shed. So there's another part of the home. And this is the most that I've talked in a day since I got sick before, so I apologize for my voice. I'm still not totally over it, but I mean, I'm feeling better, but it's still there. So sorry about that, guys. When Elizabeth had left Athena inside the bedroom, the shed / bedroom, and told her to sort through the dirty clothes for laundry, Athena then went back inside the main residence and started making dinner. Around 20 to 30 minutes later, Elizabeth went back outside to Athena's room to tell her that dinner was ready, but Athena was gone. Elizabeth looked inside the room, but did not notice anything suspicious or apparently different or out of place inside the room since she had last seen Athena in there. Elizabeth immediately began looking around the property for Athena. At approximately 18:22 hours, Elizabeth called her sister and brother-in-law, who lived in the adjacent property next to Elizabeth and Athena, and asked if Athena was over at their residence. They told Elizabeth that Athena was not over there, and then began looking for Athena themselves. Elizabeth then called her husband, Jacob, who was currently driving with her father to a hunting lease near San Antonio, and told him Athena was missing. Jacob then told Elizabeth to call 911. Elizabeth could not think of any place or person Athena would try and run away from the property to, nor did Elizabeth know that of any particular location on or around the property Athena would try to hide at. Houston also spoke with Jacob, who confirmed he and his father were driving to a hunting lease when Elizabeth called to tell him she could not find Athena. So Jacob and his father immediately turned around and drove back to the property, arriving after deputies. An extensive search of the area was conducted overnight. The following morning and following day, Athena was not located. Through the course of the investigation, it was learned that FedEx had delivered a package to the residence during the time Athena went missing. Through further investigation, it was found that the company Big Topspin was the contracting company delivering packages for FedEx. Investigators were able to work with employees from Big Topspin to determine which van and driver had made the delivery. Investigators also learned that the van was equipped with video equipment, which was run by a third-party vendor, Velociter. Velociter was able to provide video from the truck that delivered the package. The video consists of 1-minute clips. An FBI employee was able to view the video. The FBI employee found that the driver had taken a young girl who was visibly similar to Athena in his van. The driver was seen on video talking to her in the van. Interesting. So right there, that indicates, people, that I find that one detail very interesting, because it's saying that the video footage consists of 1-minute clips. Okay, so I guess it films and records for 1 minute, logs off, films again for 1 minute, logs off, so on and so forth. So that actually makes a lot of sense to me. So that could be why a lot of the details are unclear. But in those 1-minute clips, it does show her getting into the FedEx van and him conversing with her in the van. So like I said, I would assume that it basically shows just the cabin area of the van, of the FedEx truck, just the cabin area. I would assume that that's what that means. Test Steckel, no, I'm not getting any indication that that is the case. Now, again, like Test Steckel, you're just now joining us. But I want to repeat what I had said earlier, where I was basically stating, that even if they had footage of him assaulting Athena, if they had footage of that, they probably, before they could charge him with sexual assault, they'd probably want to wait for the autopsy reports in order to ensure a conviction would take place, in order to ensure that they had an airtight case for those particular charges. That's what I'm assuming. So even if they have the video footage, they're going to say, okay, well, we don't just want the video footage. We want a full autopsy report. You know, we want to see that there's trauma to her body in some way, shape, or form that would indicate sexual assault, and that we could prove, that we could present to a jury, not just video of him. You know, we don't know how clear the video is. We don't know if it's partial, if it's only covering, let's say his legs. I mean, we have no idea what that video footage consists of. So it's making sense to me that even if they have full video footage, that even that could be enough evidence to convict on, but they want to ensure the conviction and make sure that the defense cannot create any doubt. And therefore they're going to wait for the autopsy results to add those charges on. So if I had to guess, I'd say that those autopsy results are in, and that's if these charges apply to Athena. I don't know. This could be another victim. That has not been made clear yet either. So, but I believe that he assaulted Athena, and that was his motive for kidnapping her and and ultimately killing her. So, that's a good question. And I just wanted to go over that. We already know the details of his confession. But let's take a look real quick. Hey, Panda. It's my panda lady. All right. So let's take a look at this. Yeah. No, yeah. Each of the different types of charges are different. Heels. I mean, it's a good question, but as you can see, the capital murder is DC 735. The aggravated kidnapping is DC 736. And each sexual assault to a child charge is PC 54661, PC 54662, PC 54663, which I'll enlarge so you guys can see for yourselves here. So they actually have different numbers. I'm not seeing booking numbers. And yes, as Diggs stated earlier, that bottom charge, the possession charge, is of an Andrew Lloyd. It's not of Tanner Horner. So yes, 3 different SA charges. Yeah, I'm not sure. Like I said, I really wish that Mystery Maven was in here right now in the chat. I love when I have an actual criminal attorney in here that can actually explain these things, because we are merely laymen's. We are merely civilians here. So we can't really, it would be irresponsible of us, Captain Cunt, listen up. It would be very irresponsible of us to talk about these things as though we're experts when we don't really know. I would always recommend referring to somebody who is in this profession in some way, shape, or form, whether they be law enforcement, whether they be somebody who actually does the booking in a prison or in a jail. These sort of things these are the people that I want to hear from and have confirm these things. I don't know. As far as we know right now, it's unclear, guys. It's just simply unclear at this time what those charges apply to, who the victim of those charges are to. So but guys, I'm totally invested in this case. I'm going to explore this as soon as any new information comes out. You guys are going to hear, you're going to hear that from me, as well as anybody else who's covering this. I know there's a lot of good channels out there that are covering this. I think Ick and Mel recently covered this as well. So, yeah, there's a lot of good responsible creators out there that are covering this case, and I'm very much emotionally invested in this case, and the more things that come up, you'll hear me go live and discuss them. So No, the offense dates are not different. We don't have offense dates. What we have are booking dates. So the booking dates for the capital murder and the kidnapping charges are those two are the same date because he was booked on those charges the same date. These charges were just added. Thanks, Charles. Charlie's dad. That means a lot. Thanks. Appreciate that. Well, Sinner 1977, we can't make them stop doing anything. You know, I'm a believer in free speech, you know. So my way of doing things is, you know, when these people do these things irresponsibly, you know, they exercise their First Amendment rights, they exercise their freedom of speech, and my way of dealing with that is exercising my freedom of speech and calling them out on their bullshit. That's just what I do, and hopefully people will yeah, TJ Lofton, we don't do that in here. I'm gonna put you on a timeout. You know, hopefully, you know, people smarten up and they see that these channels are more concerned with the sensationalism rather than trying to understand these horrible things that take place and exploring the facts. That's hopefully, you know, people will, you know, gravitate more towards the factual side of things instead of the irresponsible speculating. And that's all I can do, you know. But the fact of the matter is they have the right to discuss things however they want, as long as they're not defaming or slandering anyone. You know, and yet they're still going to do it until somebody who they victimized decides to take action against them, legal action, action that is doable within the boundaries of the law. So all I can do is speak up and exercise the same rights as they do, and hopefully people will find hopefully people will lean towards the side of logic and rationality. So but you guys are fantastic, man. I did not expect to be live twice today, much less who knows, I might go live a third time. Who knows what comes out later tonight. But I did not expect to go live twice in one day, and I did not expect to go live for as long as I did today. But hanging out with you guys is always one of my favorite things to do. And a big shout out to Heels in the Air. Thank you for sending me that information that I asked you for. That was extremely helpful to my prior live. And all you guys, I appreciate you. I love you guys very, 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 very much. You guys are fantastic. And we will do this again very soon, my friends.